So this was a pretty yummy day of eating. I'll start with exercise though. I'm back to doing Kathy Friedrich stuff. I always go back. I never stay away for too long. I was doing the Body Fit by Amy stuff, just kind of doing more gentler stuff, I guess, easier things. And I gotta go back to Kathy. I don't know what it is. I just love her workouts so much. They're fun. I don't know, man. I've really found my love for working out again. I don't know why. I don't know where this is coming from. I used to really like working out and specifically like lifting weights. I've never really loved cardio other than step. Love step aerobics. It's so much fun. And then of course it became a super obsessive thing. And then I, found a healthier relationship with it for a while. And then it just kind of, I don't know. I just was like, bleh. And then I just became less and less consistent with it. And then of course getting pregnant and then getting pregnant again. I just never really got my rhythm back. I would start to work out for a bit and then just take days off and then work out. I haven't been as consistent as I would like, but over the last, I think a few months now, I've been doing it and I just realized the other day, I like it, man. I get up at 6 a.m. and work out and I'm into it. It's not like I'm doing anything different. It's not like I'm doing different workouts. Right now I'm doing her 4-day split, which is how old? A decade or wait, more than that? I don't know, maybe a decade old. Oh my God, is it that old? So I've done those workouts. I don't even know how many times because those are some of my favorite. I love the split of weight training and cardio in one day, right? So about 30 minutes of one and 30 minutes of the other. I love that. That's my favorite thing, pretty much. I would like if she came out with an upper body cardio, and 2 lower body and cardio instead of what she does with the 4-day split and then her newer fit split, I think she called it. That one's good too, where she has one that's lower body and then the other ones are upper body. Actually, the fit split, she has a push day and a pull day and then a metabolic conditioning one or whatever. I would really prefer it if she had 2 full upper body and 2 full lower body and cardio, But yeah, it's not like I've changed my workouts at all. I don't know. I think, part of it is I'm getting up earlier. I'm a morning person, I guess. If I don't get up early enough, I'm not nearly as productive. If I get up at 9 or something in the morning, and then by the time it's I've worked out and helped with the kids and showered and all that stuff, and now it's almost noon and I'm just going to start working, psychologically, I'm just done and it's really hard for me to work because it's damn, it's already noon. But I love nighttime too. And I hate that I can't stay up until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. I really miss that. So let's talk about food. So I had a very yummy breakfast. This was several days ago. I had pretty much the same thing today though. I made it a little bit thicker, so I actually needed a spoon, so I was eating it like ice cream. It's just a simple smoothie, protein smoothie. It's got berries. I did a mix of strawberries and the wild blueberries, frozen strawberries and frozen wild blueberries, and a frozen banana. I think that was a fresh banana. That's probably why it wasn't almost more like an ice cream consistency. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, a cup of soy milk, a little bit of vanilla, some flax, and some pea protein powder. And toddler had a little bit too. If I make them their own smoothie and put it in their cup, they don't want it. They'll drink it eventually, but they're just meh, they don't want it. They also hate the blender. They hate the sound of the blender. So even if they kind of want a smoothie, they don't want me to make it because of the sound. But if I make one for me, then they want it. Then I even asked them, I think when I made this, I was I can make your own, or I can put some of this in your cup. And they're just no. So lunch, and I guess this is the fun part, guys. I did a meal prep. I actually did a meal prep. I was just on Amazon Black Friday, just seeing what the deals are. And they had a pretty good deal on these nice, meal prep containers, I guess is what you would call them. Pretty much an impulse buy, not something I normally do, but I was you know what? I'm going to get them. Because if I get them, I'll use them. I'll actually, do it, you know, because otherwise I don't really have containers where I can meal prep. But if I get them, maybe I'll actually do it. And I did. And I'm still doing it. And it's pretty great. This is my second week now. I did it last week and now I've done it this week. And I have to say, I really like it. I came up with something that for now really works. It's really, really tasty and it doesn't take long to make at all. It takes like a little over an hour to make everything. I start by pressing the tofu. While that's being pressed, I cook the chickpeas in a huge pan, 2 cans of chickpeas, and some oil, and then you just flavor it with whatever you want, you know, salt and pepper. I did smoked paprika and I think some chili powder and some cayenne. I think that was it. And yeah, you just cook them until, really whenever. I cook them until they get fairly dry. They start to kind of get blackened on the bottom a little bit. And then while they're kind of cooking, you can go ahead and prep the vegetables. I do red onion and carrot and broccoli, pound of broccoli, 4 pretty large carrots, and not a whole red onion. I do like about 3/4 of one because then I use the rest for the salad that I make. Just chop that stuff up and, again, oil, salt, pepper, whatever you want. I don't put a whole lot of seasonings on it because I'm going to be dipping it in hummus anyway. And then you roast that. What do I do? 400 for like 25 minutes. Stir like halfway through. You need like a huge, really big sheet pan. While those are cooking, the chickpeas will be done pretty quick. So you can go ahead and just wipe out the pan really quick. Be careful, it's going to be hot, but get a little paper towel or whatever just to make sure there's nothing there that will burn. And probably need to add a little bit more oil, and then you can put the tofu in. Oh, and salt. I do salt and pepper on the tofu before I put it in, and then I salt and pepper the other side. And you can do, 2 sides browned, or you can do all 4 sides. It doesn't matter. Then the hummus takes like 2 seconds in a food processor or even a blender if you have a Vitamix. I have a nice food processor now, so I make 2 batches of hummus in the food processor at one time. Pretty great. And then for the salad, I've talked about that before. It's just cucumber and red bell pepper and tomatoes. The amounts, just do however much you want. Oh, and red onion, sliced red onion. You really can't mess this up. It's just if you like a lot of red onion, put it in there. If you don't. I put some scallions too. Did I put scallions this time? I normally do. And then the dressing, whatever kind of oil vinegar type dressing that you like. You can even use like a pre-made Italian. And so I think even for this day, actually, I didn't use the salad. When I made this last week, what I did instead is I had the vegetables in one part of the container, and then the chickpeas and the tofu in another. And then in the third, I put like peeled orange in there. And this time, instead, what I did is I left that part empty, and so I can take the vegetables and the beans and the tofu out, and I can microwave those, and then I can put in the salad in the other part of the container, and the hummus. I have the hummus in its own little container, and then I can just have the orange afterwards. I go ahead and slice it up before I'm ready to eat, and yeah, because I don't really want it all cold, and also I prefer orange slices instead of it being peeled because I don't actually like to eat a lot of the orange because it's fucking nasty. The texture and everything, it's not good. And also, when I was peeling those oranges, holy crap, I don't know what happened. I guess maybe I'm sensitive to orange oil now, but I think it was under this, or no, maybe it was under one of these, on the corner right under the nail, and then on my thumb right under here, it hurt so incredibly bad, and it hurt for 2 days. The hell was that? Is that my computer? Just saying hi, I guess. But yeah, it hurt for a couple days. It just slowly got better. And when I wouldn't notice it, but if I pressed right there on my finger, oh my God, it just burned. It was terrible. So yeah, I only peeled 1 orange, and I had my partner peel the rest. And then I was like, why am I even peeling this? I should just do slices. And I was like, well, that doesn't fit in the container. And then I had this real just really silly, like, well, but I don't want that part of the container to be empty. Like, I need to put something in it. What can I put in it? It's like, I could put the salad. Oh no, but I don't want that to be microwaved. So like, what can I put in it? And then I finally was like, dude, just don't put anything in it. And then you can microwave it. And then when you're done microwaving it, you can put the salad in it. And then you can cut up the orange like on the day. What? This is not hard. So with trial and error, I finally figured it out. And I think it's a lot better too with the salad because it adds some, acidity to the whole thing. And yeah, I just dip the tofu and the vegetables into the hummus. I just eat the chickpeas and I eat the salad and then I eat the oranges. I don't know why I'm explaining how I eat it. It's really good. It's super healthy. It's quite a few calories, which is good. I like my lunch to have a lot because it's going to be a while until dinner happens, right? And I like my breakfast to have a lot too. I used to think like, well, I wish I could meal prep dinner, but I've realized that actually lunch is a lot more useful for me because that's when I'm working and it's always such a pain to try to figure out like something quick. And sometimes I'm like, I'll just get a bowl of cereal, whatever, and I'll go back down and work. Whereas now, like I have this already made. It takes, I don't know, 15 minutes total for me to get everything out and eat and like be done. It's great. So yeah, we'll see how long I do this for. We'll see, I'm sure I'm going to get sick of this like combination pretty soon. So I don't know what else I'm going to do. Honestly, I have no idea. I've looked up some like meal plans and ideas, but like 99% of them, I'm like, no, I don't like it. Anyway, for dinner, actually, I think I had a few peanut butter pretzels. And then for dinner, I had a recipe from a it is a new book. I've only made 2 things from it. I'll talk about the other thing too. This is Fast and Easy Vegan Cookbook by J.L. Fields. Again, this was kind of just an impulse thing while I was shopping on Black Friday. I think I was like, oh, let me look at cookbooks. And this was like one of the first things. And I was like, oh, I want it. And I just bought it. I pretty much never do Kindle for just ebook for recipe books. I really like having a book that I can hold, which is really stupid because we have like no counter space. So now this is another thing that's on the counter when I'm cooking. Good job, dude. So I made the protein pasta primavera. It's exactly what it sounds like. It uses, whatever protein pasta you want, the lentil or the chickpea or the mix that the Barilla or whatever brand has. I don't know why I keep doing this. I really want like one pot pasta things to work and they never do. And I'm just convinced that like one day I'm going to find the recipe that works for me, but that's stupid. It's never going to because I don't like the super starchy thing that you get if you cook pasta with other stuff and you're not going to drain it and rinse it, right? Like it's going to be really starchy and I hate that, but I'm just convinced that there's going to be some magic recipe that where like I won't hate it. So it's ridiculous how many times I've tried like one pot pasta dishes and this is another one. And I didn't like it. If I just cooked them separately, because it's so simple and easy to do, it's just pasta and some vegetables, some like zucchini and squash and stuff and tomatoes. And if I just cooked the pasta separately and cooked the other stuff, it would have been fine. But I just want it to work so badly. And it's so stupid because pasta is already such an easy thing. Like what? Okay, you have to use one more pot. Who gives a shit? Apparently I do. I did eat it. I made myself a bowl. But it was not the most enjoyable thing. Now, I made something else the night before that was super good, and I've made it once since then. Sheet pan potachos. It's supposed to be like nachos, but made with potatoes, which is like, what? Why have I never thought of that? That sounds so good. And it is. It's really simple. It's potatoes and, red bell pepper and some cheese if you want. I use the Daya pepper jack cheese and some beans and like just all the nacho stuff you would normally think of. But it's on potatoes and it was super good. I even made her simple vegan sour cream recipe, which it's just like tofu and lemon juice and salt, I think, and like a couple other things. And it tastes exactly like what it is. It tastes like tofu and lemon juice. But when you have it with a bunch of other flavors, like with the nachos or the potatoes, then it's nice because it's like a nice kind of cooling thing and it like serves the purpose of a sour cream. I mean, I'm not saying it tastes exactly like sour cream. It doesn't, but it's like, I get the point of this. Pretty spicy with the cayenne peppers. I felt bad because I didn't think Tyler was going to eat any, so I made it with the cayenne, and then of course they wanted some, and so I didn't say anything, and I was letting them eat it, and they were eating it for a while. They liked it dipped in the sour cream, and then eventually they were like, spicy! So then the second time I made it, I didn't put any of the flavorings on it. It's crazy. They used to like spicy stuff. Like, we've been giving them, garlic and like actually spicy pepper stuff since they were having like solid foods. But then over the past, I don't know, a few months or so, they're just sensitive to spicy stuff now. Anyway, then I had a bunch of popcorn, like so much popcorn. The day was going so well, and then I ruined it with just a ridiculous amount of popcorn. I think before this, actually, I had a lemon coconut date ball thingy. I'll put up the recipe here, and it calls for like 20 dates or something. And I knew like, oh no, dates come in all different sizes, So it's like, okay, that's probably gonna bite me in the butt a little bit. And so I got 20 dates, which they're like medjool dates, and they're like this freaking big. And I was like, man, this seems like too many. This is gonna be really wet. And of course it was, so I had to add in a bunch more oats and added in a bunch more coconut and whatever until it was finally a consistency like that I could hold and actually roll into balls. Which, whatever. I mean, that's the good thing about recipes like these where you're making any sort of ball or something. You really can't mess it up. Like, if it's too wet, just add more dry stuff. If it's too dry, just add more wet stuff. It's pretty easy, right? You don't have to worry about it rising or spreading or anything in the oven. I mean, a lot of them you're not even going to cook, right? I think they're supposed to be cooked. Yeah. You don't need to. The only reason really is to toast the coconut, which you could just do ahead of time before you mix it in. But they're really, really yummy. Toddler went crazy and ate, I don't even know how many the first day. It was nuts. And then even the second day, I think they had like a couple or something. I mean, they had like 12 or something on the first day. It was ridiculous. It was almost all they ate. She's like, kept asking for another one. And I was like, well, I mean, it's just oats and dates and coconut and lemon. And then the next day, I think they had like 2 or 3. So yeah, they had their fill. I'm sure if I make them again, they're gonna eat like 1. Then I think I had the popcorn, and I had an apple, a yummy little gala apples, because those are like my favorite now, apparently. And then I also had a couple Jolly Ranchers, because we still have a bunch of those from Halloween. We still have so much candy from Halloween. It's ridiculous, which I guess is good. I mean, we're eating it like very, very slowly. Sometimes I'll let Toddler have some at the end of the day. Usually I'll have like a pack of Sour Patch Kids and like maybe a couple Jolly Ranchers, and then I'll go a few days without any, and then I'm like, ooh, candy, and I'll have like 3 packs of Sour Patch Kids and like 4 Jolly Ranchers, and I'm like, why did I do that? Because it's delicious. I love Jolly Ranchers. Like, that is one of the best candies, and I feel like no one ever talks about them. They're so good. Cherry is definitely my favorite, which is crazy. I can't think of any other candy or like fruit snack or really anything that's like fruity flavored where cherry would be my favorite. Almost always that's my least favorite because it's like weird, like medicinal kind of taste. The same with grape. But the cherry Jolly Rancher is so good. It's my favorite. I think we have 1 left. I'm saving it. And then the grape too. I really like the grape. Again, usually not a fan of grape. There were some fruit snacks. I think it was Tom and Jerry fruit snacks that I used to eat when I was a kid, where grape was my favorite. And I would like separate all the colors out, the orange and, what was it? Orange, red, and gray, and purple. Orange, red, and grape. Yellow? Was there a yellow one? Anyway, I'd separate them all out, and then I'd eat one by one, and I'd have to finish on my right side. That was the thing I did for a long time. I'd switch. I'd chew one on the right, chew one on the left, and I'd start by counting them, right? To make sure that if it's an odd number, then I would start on the right? So I would end on the right. If it's an even, I would start on the left. It was a thing for a lot of my life. I remember a friend in high school was just staring at me, and I was like doing my little thing counting, and I looked up, and she was like, explain, like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, well, I have to count out the number because I have to, when I chew, and it just was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I never thought about it really. And like, having to explain it to someone, it was like, oh yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Why do I do that? So that was my day. Definitely gonna make more stuff from this, so I'll let you know, I guess, my full review fairly soon. Just looking through the recipes, I think it's probably pretty good if you're new to, plant-based cooking and you just want like simple, easy, quick stuff to make and you like things in one place, right? Because you can find any recipe you could ever want just on the internet, right, for free. But sometimes it's just overwhelming and it's hard to know where to start or even what to look for if you don't have something in mind. So having like a book that's just like, here are the things, look at the things in here, can be at least a little bit helpful maybe. But yeah, it's simple stuff, right? There's like nothing revolutionary in here, I don't think, just having like skimmed through the recipes. It's all going to be really basic stuff. So if you've been vegan for a while, probably like 90% of the stuff you've made before, if you're like fairly into cooking and trying different things. But yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, support the channel, patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. And I will have a new video, I don't know, very soon. I don't know why I was so like, get fucked.